Okay. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to Rambles. This is episode number 3, and very fitting. We're going to talk about how healing takes time. And I have just spent the last 3 hours on Windows updates again. So this took a lot of time this morning, and it's so funny. You can't make this shit up, right? Our lives parallel, our lives are our healing journey, and healing takes time. So we're going to talk about this today because it can be really frustrating. Like, have you ever had, you've been on your healing journey, whether you're, kind of at the beginning or you've been in it for a little while, and then something will come up and it's like, oh my God, what the fuck? Did I not deal with this already? Did I not heal this already? Why is this here again? And here's the thing, healing is a journey, right? Healing is not a destination. There's no point, this is a lifelong journey. There is no point where we get to the point where we are 100% healed, because there's always things that come up. And just because things come back around again doesn't mean that you're going backwards. And this is where the frustration comes in, because we feel like, I worked on this already. I did so much work on this already. Why is it here again? And the thing is, our healing journey is a spiral. And it's an upward spiral, right? So if you picture a spiral staircase going up, and they get wider and bigger and wider as they go up. And our healing journey isn't necessarily a smooth spiral. It can be a bit of a crooked spiral, and, but we come around and we come around and we spiral upwards. And some things just take longer. We come back to them because as we go around on our healing journey, as we spiral upwards, we do work, we learn things, we change, our perspective changes, our viewpoint changes. And so when we come around to this thing again, we haven't gone backwards. We've come back around to it again because we're supposed to, because we now have the tools and the learning and the perspective that we need for that next layer. So let me know if this makes sense to you. If you've had this feeling like, what the fuck? I dealt with this already. I did so much work on this already. Why is it here again? It can be really frustrating because we do tend to beat ourselves up when we feel like we've done all the work on one thing or many things, because it's a spiral. We come back around and back around. So just because you come back around to it doesn't mean that all the work you did before didn't work. It means that you're at the next layer. You're ready for the next layer. You have the tools and the perspective and the viewpoint that you need for the next layer. And so I think understanding that can help make it a little less frustrating and make it so that maybe you beat yourself up a little bit less for whatever it is that comes back around. There's layers to knowing, there's layers to peel back, there's layers like the steps on the spiral staircase, right? There's a step and a step and a step and a step, and we come around. And just because it doesn't feel like those baby steps are working, or just because we come around to the same thing again, doesn't mean that the work that we did before didn't work. Like I say, it just means that, we did what we were ready for with it at that time, and then we come around again when we have more tools and more perspective. And this, this comes down to, part of my own healing journey. At the very beginning, when I first started going to Reiki sessions, there was a lot of work around my solar plexus. There was a lot of work, and that's our power center, right? That's our self-confidence, our self-worth, embracing our gifts and our power and leaning into them. And so there was work that was done in that way 7 years ago. And it has come around again and again and again because I learn more, and I get more comfortable with my gifts. Being an oracle has been a really strange thing to embrace. And, having that ability to tap into the energies that are at play and knowing things and being able to tap into someone's energy and give them messages. And it's a really powerful gift to have. And so there's been a lot of work at various stages, at various times, as I've been ready for the next layer of acceptance and the next layer of deepening into that and becoming comfortable with it and embracing it. It's taken time to unravel all the stuff that was around it. It's taken time to unravel and uncoil and release and open up so much in that space that was blocking my gifts, that was blocking my powers. And there was also a lot of fear. There was a lot of, the weight of responsibility, tapping into someone's energy and delivering them messages. I have a knack for tapping into things. People have often said to me, like, how did you know that? Like, dude, I don't know. And so it's been interesting to embrace the gift of knowing and the gift of not knowing. But it's been a process. It's been many layers. And that started 7 years ago with working with a Reiki practitioner and working with a healer, working with a mentor helps so, so much. You can find my offers, my services on my website, kristamarie.ca. If you are ready for a mentor, someone to help you through this, all the information is there. You can reach out, ask me questions, and we can set up a little consult to have a chat to see if we're a fit. But it was even recently over this summer and just over the last couple of months, there were insights. There was releasing that happened around my solar plexus that has allowed me to further step into the gifts that I have to share, to help people. And releasing that fear around that responsibility, because it is a big responsibility to help someone through their healing journey as they walk their upward spiral. But, it takes time. It takes time to go through these spirals, or to walk this journey. It takes time. Healing takes time. It is not an overnight magic pill. And so it can feel very frustrating when things come around again. But recognizing that you have not gone backwards, you have not fallen, you haven't lost the progress that you made. Um, you haven't lost anything. You haven't gone backwards, and you're coming around to it again, being ready for the next layer. And so it can help to ease the frustration to know that you're on a journey and that you are in fact spiraling upwards, even when it doesn't necessarily feel that way. But it can also help to ask the question, what did I learn last time that can help me now? What do I know now that I didn't know then? What is different in me and in what is coming up? Because there will be differences, right? At the beginning for me, it was recognizing that I had these gifts, that I had this power, and learning how to accept and to figure out exactly what they were, right? I didn't know exactly what they were then. Now I understand. I am an oracle, I am a teacher, I'm a healer, and I'm a spiritual mentor. And it's taken time to be able to know that and to speak it out. And this time, when it came up again, what was different was that I knew that. And so I was able to recognize that the fear and the tension and the things that I was holding on to weren't actually from me. And so it was very different this time, and it was faster this time. This is what happens as we go through, is the thing may come around again, but because we've done the work on that journey, on that spiral since the last time, we come at it with new perspective. We come at it with a higher viewpoint. We come at it with more tools, with more knowledge. And so it becomes faster to recognize what's going on and what we need to do, what tools we need to use. And it makes it faster and easier to move through each time. The path, the spiral becomes a little less crooked the further we go along it. And, asking, what's different this time? Well, I'm different this time. I have more knowledge this time. And, releasing that tension. So I used to lay and I would feel this knot in my belly, in my solar plexus, right? In that space between your heart and your belly button, that's where your solar plexus chakra lies. And there was a knot there, and like a physical knot that I could feel. And over the summer, over the last few months, I've been able to release this knot. And this last releasing literally happened on my walk with the dogs one morning. And it was just like, whoop. And so now I can lay on my side and I don't feel that knot anymore. It's just gone. And this is the thing, it gets faster and easier to release as the thing comes around again because of all the work that we've done before. So just know that your healing is a journey. Your healing takes time. Things are going to come around again, but you come at them with a higher perspective, with more knowledge. And then it becomes easier and faster. And some things take longer. Some things are going to come around more often. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be like this release. It's going to happen quick. It's going to happen easy. And it's going to happen that way because you did all that other work before, because you did all that foundational work before. And so that final release can be, and often is, really quick. It's the work before that takes the time, right? And digging through the layers and taking each one as it comes, right? Not expecting yourself to heal the thing that comes up like that. And like I say, that final release, that final stage may be that quick, but the first one is not going to be that quick. My first, I went to Reiki for 3 years, and it was a process because of course there's life, right? We're doing life at the same time that we are on our healing journey, and so it takes time, right? We have to allow ourselves the grace of that time. We have to allow ourselves the time to integrate, right? So as we work on each layer, we have to integrate the changes, and you'll start to notice physical changes because the physical things that are happening in your body did not just happen overnight. Our bodies tend to be a bit slower than our energy body, but the things that are happening in your body didn't happen overnight. And so it takes time to go through the layers and taking each layer as it comes rather than trying to rush it and trying to push it. And I think maybe that can help too, is knowing that this thing is going to come around again, and that's okay. Because right now I'm working on the part of it that I have the capacity for. I'm working on the part of it, the layer of it that is ready, that I am ready for, that I have the knowledge and the tools to move through. And the next time it comes around, it will be a deeper layer. I will have more knowledge. I will have more tools. So that gives us the grace of allowing where we are and working on the layer that we're on, knowing that it does come around again. And then we can give ourselves the grace when it comes around again, saying, hey, I know this. I recognize this. What do I know now that I didn't know before? What's different now? How am I different now? How can I move through this layer a little quicker? And oftentimes we need help, right? I did all this. Absolutely, I did all this. I did not do all this without help. So, at the beginning, my very, very first experience was with a nurse practitioner who did craniosacral therapy. And then I moved on to Reiki and spiritual mentoring with a Reiki master and spiritual mentor. We got together once a month for a little while, and then it was once every 3 or 4 months, and then it was a couple times a year. And, but that assistance, that guidance, that um, energy work and mentoring from someone else with a different perspective, with a higher perspective, who was further along than I was at the time, was invaluable. We do our own work. It is a solitary journey, right? It's all our own inner journey. Our healing journeys are unique, individual to ourselves. Our spiral staircase is not the same as everyone else's. Yours may be golden metal, yours may be silver, it may be cast iron and concrete. It just depends. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's spiral staircase looks a little different. But having someone to support us, as we walk that spiral staircase, or a lot of times we talk about walking the mountain, walking the path up the mountain. And when you walk up a mountain, if you've ever walked up a steep hill or gone hiking, it's a whole lot easier to do this going up the hill than it is to try and go up this way. So it's a journey, it's a path, there's layers, it's a spiral, but it's always moving upward. And so there's layers, there's this staircase. It takes time to go through it. And today, I think this is going to be kind of short, because I just wanted to give you the reassurance and the hope, and knowing that whatever layer you're on now is the layer that you are ready for. It is the layer that you have the tools and the knowledge and the perspective to be able to move through. And give yourself the grace of knowing that this is where I am, and I'm going to move through this. And then if and when it comes around again, because it may or may not, depending on how much work you've done and where you're at on your path and on your spiral, it may not come around again. You may be at the point where you're releasing the last layer of something, because not everything is big and huge that takes decades to go through, right? Some things are just, they're there and we have to move through them. So just giving yourself the grace of knowing that wherever you are right now, you have the tools, you have the capacity to deal with that layer. And as it comes around again, asking that question, knowing that you have come around again, not because you've gone backwards, not because you've slid down the hill or slid down the mountain or slid down the stairs. You have come around to it again because you now have the knowledge, the perspective, and the tools to move through that next layer. So I hope that helps if this is something that you have or are experiencing, because it can be frustrating, right? It can be so annoying. It's like, oh my God, I did this already. But the fact is, you didn't. It might be similar, but you didn't work on this particular layer before. That's why it's come around again, because you're ready for that next layer of it. So giving yourself the grace of understanding that this is a journey, that the baby steps do work, and just because it's fast or not fast doesn't mean it's not happening. Understand that, allow yourself to let go of the frustration, and knowing, because it is layers, it is a spiral, we do come around. And that when you get to the point where you have gone through each layer, the final release can be very quick and can be very easy, where you can let it go. Chances are there will be something else that will take its place. But because you've done the work on all the other things, when the new things come up, you can give yourself the grace and ask yourself the question, okay, so this didn't come, why is this coming up now? What is it about this that I'm ready for now? What do I know now? What have I learned so far that can help me through this? What is different about me now that is allowing this to come forth? And just allowing yourself the grace of understanding that you are on a journey, and things are going to come around again. I hope this makes sense. I do have some notes today. I do feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but those questions can really, really help when that thing comes up again. That thing that makes you go, "Oh, what the fuck? Where is it? Why? Why? Where is this coming from?" It's coming up again because you're ready for the next layer. And asking yourself, what did I learn last time that can help me now? What's different this time that will help me move through this more quickly? And each layer does become more quick. Each layer does become easier. The insights come quicker. The healing comes faster. The releasing becomes quicker and easier. Again, it's because you've gone around the spiral and you're ready for it. So I hope that helps. I hope this helps give you some hope and some encouragement, that it helps you release frustrations around the things that maybe keep coming up. Excuse me. It's okay. Like I say, they're not coming up again because you've fallen backwards. They're coming up again because you're ready for that layer. And there are layers to all of this, right? There are layers to how it was formed in the first place, right? And so it's like an archaeological dig, it's an excavation, and we go through each layer. And sometimes sometimes we use a pickaxe and we get in there and dig really quick. And sometimes it's more delicate work with the brush and revealing the layers a little bit at a time. And you will know which one you need. You will know which tools you need. And as you go along, it becomes easier to pick your tools. And again, the assistance of an energy healer, a spiritual mentor, is invaluable. So again, you can find all that stuff on my website. There's a contact me form that you can fill out to email me with your questions. There's visit me on Facebook. I have the page there. The link is in the description below. My Instagram is there as well. Come join me in any of those places. I do have the Witches Workshop is my group on Facebook. You can come join me there. We do oracle readings from time to time, and lots of tools and just lots of encouragement and help and support, so that you don't feel quite so alone on your journey. Because again, it is very solitary. Our layers are our own. They built up through our lives, and we go through them each in our own way as we go walking our journey. And so it can really help to have some support and some hope and some encouragement, and to know, like I say, that just because something comes around again doesn't mean that the work that you did didn't work, that the baby steps you took around it before didn't work. It just means that you're ready for the next layer. You're ready to put down the pickaxe and pick up the brush, right? Hope this makes sense. Again, rambling. This is why we call it the Witches Rambles. It's what I do. I just want to see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you today. That's really about it. It's a quick ramble today, and I hope it helps. I hope it makes sense to you. Leave me comments if you have questions. If anything didn't make sense, please let me know. Ask your questions, and I can clarify things for you. But ultimately, my goal for today was just to give you that encouragement and help you let go of some frustration if there is something that has come up again, and you're feeling like, fuck, what the fuck, where did this come from, why is this here again? And just knowing that it's because you're ready for it, because you're ready for that next layer. And I hope this helps. I hope you feel better. And I will see you next Monday. After all of these technical issues, I'm starting to realize that, this is 3 weeks in a row that it's been 11:30 that I've been here. So we're just going to say I'll be here at 11:30 next Monday. And we're going to talk about how there's also takes time, for all of the energetic stuff to show up in our physical body. And it takes time for the energy work that we do to also show up in our physical body. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more about the different ways that healing takes time. And so that will be next Monday, talking about our physical body and our energy body and how they come together, and how the things that, are manifesting in your physical body are not coming out of nowhere. They are layers that have built up over a lifetime. And this is part of the healing process, is digging through the layers. And so that was the inspiration for today's ramble about healing taking time and going through the layers, walking on the spiral, and understanding that your baby steps are working and you have not slipped backwards just because something is coming up again. It's coming up again because you're ready for that next layer, to excavate that next layer. And you have the perspective, the knowledge, and the tools for that next layer. That's why it is coming up again, because you've come far enough around, you've learned enough, you've healed enough to be ready for that next layer. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you feel better. And please, if you enjoy the rambles, give me a like. If you feel it could help someone in your world, give me a share. If you want to see the rambles as we go on, subscribe to the channel. Please comment if any of this resonates or it brings up any questions for you. Please comment. I will see and respond. And I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful week. I hope your Monday is starting your week off well, and that you haven't spent 3 hours on a Windows update. Oh, the Windows updates. So I am going to sign off here. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful Monday. I hope that you feel better if you have been feeling frustrated that, something just keeps coming around again, keeps coming around again, keeps coming around again. And that you give yourself the grace of understanding you're on a journey. And each time something comes around, it's because you're ready for it and you have the tools and the knowledge to move through that next layer. So that's it for me today. I'm sending you a whole bunch of love and bright blessings. I hope to hear from you. Um, Visit me on Facebook, visit me on Instagram, check out the website for all of the various offers. There's oracle readings there. There is intuitive healings there. There's mentorship options there. I love options, very big on options, because everybody needs different things at different times, right? So based on my journey, my experience, my knowledge, and my gifts, there are a variety of offers there that may be able to help you. If you wonder if any of them are a fit or if we're a fit to work